Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be talking about the prevalent discrimination going on in Western civilization. So let's dive right in and talk about this topic. And so we have this first post from the Daily Mail, and it talks about white Thomas Reuters data scientist says he was fired from $350,000 per year role by woke bullies for sharing data showing cops kill more unarmed white people than black people and claiming Black Lives Matter contributed to deaths of thousands. Okay, so a few things to note here. One is the fact that he was discriminated against for being white. The second thing, which they don't talk about in the initial headline, but you can see it in this first bullet point here, Thomas Reuters' former director of data science, Zach Kriegman, okay, director of data science. This is a person who, like me, understands data science topics. He was the head of their data science division, the director, okay? He had a six-figure salary, $350,000, and he provided data to the rest of the organization, which is his job as the director of data science. This is a person they hired and said, we trust you to be able to properly assess data, and we're going to put you in charge of our data. He brought them data that did not conform with their worldview, and instead of them being like, well, he's the expert, he understands data, they fired him, okay? It's so frustrating for me because this type of thing happens over and over and over again. You see, with artificial intelligence that is unrestrained, or with a public square, such as a social media platform that does not have regulations against free speech, you see certain truths that immediately become self-evident, whether it's with the free speech platform or with the AI that is unshackled. Certain things become blatantly obvious. The fact that cops do, as a percentage, kill more unarmed black people, or they kill more unarmed white people than unarmed black people. So the opposite of what we would think if we're just following media and entertainment. The fact that that is verifiable data. We have numerous studies that show that, okay? For some reason, that does not get through to people. Even if that data is given to these people, these woke social justice warriors, these bullies, even if this data is given to people by people who have an expertise in terms of understanding data. This Zach Kriegman person, myself, I was a professor. I taught statistics and research methods classes to graduate students at a decently top private university, or private college, I should say. And it's just ridiculous. It really is truly ridiculous that we've gone to the point where people are so captured by their worldview that they cannot assess reality properly anymore. Maybe this is because of technology, where so many of our senses can lie to us that people just don't believe things that are self-evidently true based off of empiricism or based off of rational thought anymore. Those are the two primary toolboxes, or two primary tools in our toolbox for understanding the validity of a claim. One is empiricism, which is using our senses, and the other one is rational thought. And for some reason, a data science director, their head of data science, who is supposedly an expert, because they hired him for being an expert, at understanding empirical claims and understanding rational claims and how accurate they are, they did not trust this person. And I suspect it's because of the fact that they just don't understand, they don't trust their senses anymore, because we can be we could be lied to using our hearing. We could be lied to using our sense of sight, right? So you can have movies, TV shows that tell you something and it's just completely untrue. We can have deep faked sounds. So you can have Barack Obama or Joe Rogan say whatever you want. And so people are just not trusting their senses anymore. And they're not taught rational thought anymore, which is one of the things that make us human beings, that make us able to build these advanced civilizations. And so these people just do not understand the validity of Zach Kriegman's claims here, and how, even if they don't personally understand it, how he could they don't even trust him as an expert because he goes against their worldview. But anyways, let's move on here. So Zach Kriegman claimed he was fired after sharing his research on race and police killings with colleagues. Kriegman posted stats showing cops in the U.S. killed more unarmed white people than black people since 2015. I wish I remembered the name because there was a white person who was executed in a more heinous way than George Floyd was. And so it seems to be the case that cops are just kind of violent bullies in the United States. I mean, that's why a lot of people opt into that. And because the rest of the people who might be good cops have to kind of cover for them, they slowly become less moral cops over time. But the point is here, we do have cases that are quite similar to George Floyd. And so it's likely the case that the George Floyd death was not because of racial reasons. In fact, there's even some evidence that it wasn't intentionally a death. It was actually because of his drug usage. But anyways, we're not going to talk about that. But what we could say is we have a very clear comparison when it comes to the white person. I think his name was Tony Timpa. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think that was it. Let me just see if I can find him. Was it Tony Timpa? I think it was. Killing of Tony Timpa. I think that was it. Okay. Unarmed was killed in Dallas. Yes, look him up. Timpa. Push his body weight onto. Yes, exactly. Pretty much exactly the same situation as George Floyd. And for some reason, people do not see that it was just cops being extremely aggressive, extremely violent. I've had a situation like that too. I've very rarely been pulled over by American police officers, but I think it was the first time I got pulled over. My car was not working. I couldn't come to a complete stop at a stop sign very early in the morning when no other cars were around. But when they pulled me over for not fully stopping at that stop sign, they were very hostile, very, very hostile. That situation could have escalated very quickly. So cops are just very aggressive, hostile people to begin with. They're looking for a reason to shoot you, which is not how law enforcement should be in a nation. But that is the case. And so we see here that self-evident data that goes against a person's worldview is not allowed to be presented. Otherwise, you get fired, even if you are the director of their data science division. So he goes on to say here, he said he was ridiculed and bullied by colleagues, and when he asked leadership for help, his post was taken down and he was fired. So this person, who is the director of data science, posts some data, tells his leaders, which again, I've talked about this before, which is that you can report discrimination, things like that, for telling the truth, and you can report people for being discriminatory, and it does not work because the people in charge will take the side of the social justice warriors, because that's how captured Western organizations are. He goes on to say, Kriegman said he wanted his research to spark a conversation amongst reporters at the company's newswire service about how to cover the issue. He's the latest person to claim they face hostility from a woke mob running rampant in the workplace. So just remember this. When it comes to understanding why is the West in decline, it's in decline because these people do not know how to verify empirical claims. They do not know how to verify rational claims. They don't trust proper authorities like this person who is the director of data science for their company. They don't trust research studies that are well done, which I've read these research studies and they are well done. They only believe their worldview. And if you contradict their worldview, the only recourse they have, the only option they have, they don't change their viewpoint. They try to bully you. They try to push you out of the organization. So the West is in terminal decline because of reasons like this. Thank you so much for investing your time in watching this video. If you found the content informative, be sure to show your support by giving us an upvote. Your engagement goes a long way in boosting our visibility within the algorithm. To stay ahead on the most pressing contemporary issues, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're committed to delivering up-to-date, thought-provoking content on a daily basis, and we want you to be a part of this journey. Also, your thoughts matter to us, so please share any comments, questions, concerns, and/or critiques in the comment section below. I personally read each one and I respond when necessary. Given the nature of our content, where we expose the actions of the oligarchs who exploit the masses, intentional suppression in the algorithm is an unfortunate reality. If you believe in our mission, you can help by spreading the word. Tell your friends about our content. Let's amplify the voices of those that challenge the status quo. Speaking of amplifying voices, I need your help. As many of you know, I gave up a lucrative career in the fastest growing field and the highest paying subfield of psychology in the United States to move to the Philippines to provide content that I think is important for my viewers to hear. I left so I could avoid repercussions for speaking about topics that are taboo in the United States. This decision came with significant financial sacrifices, but your support can help sustain the work we do. Check out the links in the description for how to support our channel. Every contribution, big or small, is genuinely appreciated. Finally, as a channel, we stand with the people of Palestine. We believe in their freedom, and by supporting us, you can contribute to this shared vision. Thank you for being a part of our community. Your viewership is invaluable, and I genuinely hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.